Hey carnivores, SP fam, welcome back to the channel. It's me, Bella the Steak and Butter Gal. I have Gouda here with me just to welcome you all back. Wish you all a Gouda day. Gouda, did you want to say anything special to the SP family? I'll give you a chance to speak to the microphone. First off, we want to check on you guys. How are you all doing on your carnivore journeys? Any updates, changes that you've noticed? Have you had any non-scale victories, also known as NSVs lately? Do share down below in the comments. I would love to know your update. I'm going to put Gouda down so he can get his exercise for the day, aka just walking around the room for a couple of minutes. I did want to address something that I have been seeing a lot on Instagram. I've been getting quite a lot of comments, DMs, inquiries, basically, and I'm just gonna be straightforward, of how I grew my boobs, of how I look curvier. I think it's because I've been posting lots of reels. Pretty much every single day I'll post a fun reel, basically about all of my favorite carnivore tips and ways to lose fat and change body composition. And when I'm doing those reels, I definitely notice that a lot of you guys, mostly females, have been commenting and saying that my body looks so curvy, my boobs look bigger. I've been getting so many DMs requesting me to just sit down and talk about the reasons why I think my body is changing, why I'm seeing all of these body composition results lately. So the first thing that I really changed up lately is my eating schedule, my frequency of meals per day. And I've really been purposely playing around with 2MADs and OMADs and the timing of these eating schedules. And I really think that keeps the body's metabolism excited, revved up. So I do think that because I've been changing it up with the frequency of my meals frequently, so 2MADs one day, OMADs one day, 2MADs for a whole week sometimes, I do see changes in my body composition. So what forms of measurement do I use to see that my body is changing, that I am making progress? Definitely not the scale. I can say that for a fact. I don't step on the scale anymore. I never rely on the scale to tell me whether or not I'm making progress with my body. That number on the scale probably does more damage than good to a lot of us. So I don't use the scale. I don't even use any measuring stuff. Basically, I stay away from numbers because I know my tendencies. Once I get hung up on a number, it can really make me paranoid, make me overthink, make me stop focusing on my long-term success and instead overthink on the short-term, instant gratification type of successes, which honestly do not matter in the long run. We always want to keep our eye on the target of long-term, sustainable results that are permanent and healthy. And that does apply to body composition, fat loss, weight loss type of goals as well. So really the only way that I am measuring my progress and seeing changes in my body is through photos, is through me just observing my body in front of the mirror, and of course how I feel. I obviously prioritize by now, 3 years into carnivore, I highly prioritize how my mental clarity is every day, whether or not I have bloat, do I have gas, is my digestion good, is my skin clear as usual, is my mood uplifted and happy. All of those things are a much higher priority to me than physical things like weight, body composition, how big my boobs are. Obviously, those are absolutely the sweetest bonuses ever, but I really don't focus on that, and it's not my motive to tweak my carnivore diet in a certain way just for physical results. But with that being said, it's a fact that my body has changed quite a lot. It's a fact that my boobs have grown. My hip to waist ratio has improved even more, and you guys have noticed. So besides the 2MAD and OMAD frequency, the next reason is I have been adding so much more variety, new carnivore foods into my daily diet. And I do think with all of those extra nutrients that I've been getting from this variety, it has done something to balance my hormones further. It has definitely helped me lose more fat in the areas where I want to and increase fat in the areas where I want to as well. By the way, I do want to make note that this area for all females is pretty much all made out of fat, obviously, including the booty. I mentioned that because I strongly believe when you are eating the proper diet for your body, and in my opinion, it is hands down the carnivore diet, when you're on a diet that makes your hormones happy, that's nutrient dense, it does something to the fat distribution of your body. Our body's hormones dictate where our fat is stored. So when you think of it like that, when you are on a nutrient dense, hormone supporting diet consistently with enough time, then the automatic result is going to be better fat distribution throughout the body, aka more fat in the breasts, more fat in the booty, less fat in the areas where we don't want fat. For example, the midsection, the abdomen, the waist, the arms, the legs. So to me, it all makes sense because I have been consistent on carnivore for 3 years. And on top of that, I am constantly tweaking, experimenting, exploring, adding in new foods, cutting out old foods, seeing what makes me feel better. And because I'm so passionate about feeling amazing, I do believe that an inevitable side effect of chasing health and optimal performance and function is a beautiful body, a healthy, fit, well-proportioned body, whether you are female or male. My third reason is just staying high fat, making sure that I'm always eating high fat as a carnivore. So I understand that many people will disagree that eating high fat on the carnivore diet is not necessary. I'm not saying that it is necessary for everyone, but for me, it absolutely is. It's necessary for me to feel my best. It's necessary for my cycles and hormone to be at its most stable and healthy. The higher fat that I eat, the more painless my cycles are, the shorter my flow is, and the happier I feel during that week of the month. So I do prioritize that I always get in my fats every day of the month as a carnivore because I know that when I keep my fats high, I will reap the best results. So how does that tie into the body/curves aspect? When my hormones are happy, I notice that the way that my fat sits on my body, I know it sounds strange, but the way that my fat is distributed on my body, even in my face, is just different. I can easily just compare to my carb days when I was a carbaholic, eating high carb, low fat, low protein. I can just compare it to that and see dramatic differences. When I was eating carbs, I looked bloated and puffy. I looked like I was retaining so much fluffy water, and the distribution of my fat and possibly also water retention was just everywhere, and also mostly in the wrong places. For example, I was puffy in my face, in my eyes. I was puffy in my belly. Not even puffy. I was bloated AF in my belly all the time. I was puffy in my calves, my ankles, my feet. I was puffy in my wrists, just the places where you don't want to be puffy. And on top of that, my boobs weren't even as big as they are now. So that's how much of a contrast diet alone can make in your body composition. Since I'm speaking as a female and I know a lot of females watch my channel, the first step to getting those curves, the first step to cinching that waist, the first step to changing that body composition is going carnivore. Simple as that. And then all of the work, really, once you go carnivore, all of the work is in how you can stay as consistent as possible. All of these reasons that I have been listing, these are minute, nitty-gritty things that you can tweak and play around with later. But the biggest step is getting down that consistency, sealing the deal with making carnivore diet part of your life, not just something that you have to execute high willpower for just to do for 3 days in a row, for a week in a row. Don't think of carnivore diet as a quick fix, an easy solution to getting curves, to losing a lot of fat really quick. That's just not the right mindset if you actually want sustainable, healthy, permanent results. You guys hear me bring up consistency all the time. You guys are probably sick of me talking about consistency, but from what I've learned in my journey on carnivore diet, because I have been consistent, it has paid off so much through my body's results, through my mental health results, through my skin, through how I feel, my sleep, just everything, all across the board, it has paid off. And I bring it up today because I know that it is one of the biggest issues for people who come to the carnivore diet for the first time. Heck, who even just come to the keto diet, low carb, ketovore diet. Just changing your diet in the first place is not easy. It is so difficult to break those deep-rooted habits of leaning on junk, sugar, processed foods when you're feeling down, when you're feeling bored, leaning on food for entertainment and pleasure. Breaking those habits are next to impossible. And it wouldn't be like me if I didn't give you a hack right now to make it easy and possible. And that is community. The opposite of food addiction, any addiction, is community. So when you align yourself with a tribe, a community, just a group of people who mirror the lifestyle that you want to live, who eat like you, who support your goals, then you can finally rewire that brain of yours to break those nasty old habits and build new ones. And by interacting and connecting frequently with this tribe and community that supports you, those new habits will slowly become part of you, your lifestyle, your everyday routine. So I bring up community because my next 30-day carnivore challenge is now open. So if you guys are looking for a tribe to belong to help you build those new habits and break those bad habits, come join my next 30-day carnivore challenge. It's part of my support group called the Steak and Butter Gang. Once you join the challenge, you will have automatic access to the 24/7 support group. So I host 8 hours every single week of Zoom calls. So that means you get a total of 32 hours of Zoom calls with me and my team of top carnivore coaches. In these Zoom calls, we focus on the most popular goals that you guys want to achieve. So obviously we have weekly meetings on fat loss, fitness, body recomposition as a carnivore. We have meetings on fasting and priming. If you'd like to up your game, play around with fasting, get hand curated custom schedules of fasting on the carnivore diet. And by the way, for the fasting classes, we cater to beginners, intermediate, and advanced. Fasting classes are taught by Coach Raymond and Coach Emily. All fat loss meetings are taught and led by the amazing Coach Steven. Coach Steven also leads the carnivore health meetings, and these meetings are so helpful because all members who join the challenges are able to submit what they are concerned about with their health. So we get questions on how to heal from PCOS, how to improve eczema and psoriasis. And since Steven is a qualified phlebotomist, he teaches us how to read our lab work and blood test results as a carnivore, the trends to expect, what should concern us, what is completely normal, what is optimal. And in every month's challenge, I get to present and invite on guest speakers. And these guest speakers every month are some of the top superstars within the carnivore low carb community. So the April challenge lineup, by the way, is unbelievably phenomenal. Dr. Kendi Berry, Dr. Anthony Chafee, and Rebecca Farmer. If you want to meet all of the guest speakers, take part in all of the weekly Zoom meetings with me and the carnivore coaches, feel free to visit sbgmeetup.com or directly click on the link down below in the description box to read up on the details and sign up. Now let's circle back to getting curves on the carnivore diet. I really hate to focus on the size of my boobs, but I'm telling you guys, I have been getting so many DMs and comments that I feel like if I just really don't go into detail in a video format, I'm gonna keep getting those comments and DMs. So I really hope to help my females out here on YouTube and Instagram to help you guys out on how to grow those curves and cinch those waists. Now regarding my bra size now, I'm 32C/D. Okay, so I basically went from a 36B and morphed into a 32C, sometimes D. Trust me, Steak and Butter Guy is over the moon about all of these changes. For me, I'm just like, I'll take it. Keep coming. I'm just gonna keep focusing on feeling phenomenal. I really think the money is in the saturated fats, the nutrient-dense animal fats. In fact, I will actually link a study down below in the description box. Women who eat diets with higher saturated fats apparently have denser breasts. So check out that study. I actually found that study when I was personally researching why my boobs are growing because of course I'm curious. I've not changed anything else. So I think now is a good time to address exercise. So I have not changed the way I exercise. I have not added in new workouts. I have not started any gym memberships lately. It's basically stayed the same since day one of carnivore. So that's why I feel like the exercise portion didn't make a big difference at all. Although I should share what my daily exercise routine is. It's not even considered a workout or special exercise. So I basically go on a walk almost every day. And what I do is I walk my dogs. I have 2 dogs, and they are kind of the motivating factor to get me out of the house. A typical day of exercise would just be, you know, briskly walking 3 to 4 miles around my neighborhood, or taking my dogs to the dog park, walking around the dog park and playing fetch, running after my dogs if I'm chasing after them, playing with them. That's really the whole extent of my exercise. I do not go to the gym. And I have one last reason that I suspect is why I'm seeing more curves. I save this for last because I think it's the most special one. It is the incorporation of raw dairy. There is something about bringing in raw dairy to my diet that directly affects how my body looks when it comes to how curvy it is, how feminine my body looks, how glowy my skin is. There's just something that raw dairy does, for me at least, that I do notice. It's why I really enjoy eating raw cheese, raw yogurt, raw kefir. I've observed that whenever it's that time of the month, whenever my period is approaching, like the 2-3 days before it, I build this strong desire for raw dairy. So I think it's my hormones saying something. So lately I've been incorporating lots of raw cheese. My favorite is La Gruyere. I'm currently still sourcing for some raw kefir, raw yogurt, but don't worry, it's going to be coming into my diet very soon. As of now, I've been perfectly satisfied and happy with raw cheese. I can literally go to Whole Foods and get my raw cheese. I can go to Costco and get a ton of raw cheese for cheap. Really does something special, adds a little touch of magic to those female curves and the body composition. So that's all I have to say about raw dairy. If you guys have any science or studies or personal experience to back this up, I would love to know what you guys can provide to support this theory. Definitely comment it down below. So enough chit chat from me. I think that's everything that I wanted to share regarding this topic. I definitely tried to listen to your requests, see what you want me to talk more about, film more about. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to share it with your females in your life, your partner, your friends. I did want to share, I just went to go get my mail. I'm actually filming this early in the morning. It's 8:30 a.m. right now. But I went to go get my mail and I got some more LMNT sample packs. I wanted to show you what an actual free sample pack looks like. So I highly recommend LMNT electrolytes, by the way, if you're new to the carnivore diet, because electrolytes are great if you are struggling with adaptation issues. For example, low energy, muscle cramps is a big one for a lot of new carnivores. This is what the pack looks like. They just ship it to you once you sign up to get a free pack. Comes with all of these different flavors. You do just have to pay for shipping. Comes with 10 packs and all of the flavors. So I highly recommend trying this free sample pack. Yes, because it's all free, but because you guys get a free sample pack of this one right here. This one is hands down what I recommend for you all, especially if you are strict carnivore and you're trying to stay away from stevia, because this one is raw unflavored. There is 0 stevia, only the electrolytes, sodium, magnesium, potassium. All of these you can give to your family, your kids. So again, if you want a free sample pack, just go to the URL on the screen or click the link down below in the description box. Anyways, please don't forget to hit like down below, hit subscribe if you enjoy my videos, and I wish you all a beautiful meat-fueled good day. See you next time. SVG out.